Real Estate Review in 2023. I'm Brian Khatambakhsh, team lead at Khatambakhsh Real Estate Team with Remax Hallmark, and I'm here to discuss how did real estate market perform in 2023. I put Mississauga, but this could apply to whole GTA basically. So how did the real estate market do in 23? Before I take you to the numbers and compare all these things, let me just review on how the year started and how it went up. Year started in a slow fashion as the interest rates were going up until February when Bank of Canada raised the interest rate by another 0.25 or quarter point. But the language they used was that they're going to go on pause until summer to see the results of this interest increases. And that for some reason gave a lot of buyers a confidence and people start coming back to market. So we saw March, April, May, kind of a rise in the market in number of sales, a little bit prices. Some multiple offers were happening as well. Not as crazy as what we had in 2021 or 2020, but start happening. And so we could see the market is it's coming back. I was the one that when I looked at that for 3 months in a row, I was out there and say, hey, this market is down, going down. Start picking up. It's better to start picking something. However, in June and July, Bank of Canada came back with a very aggressive tone. They didn't increase too much. They did another quarter point in June and July, but the language they used was very, very negative and very aggressive to some people's point. So they were saying that, oh my God, we are ready to increase even furthermore, and they really, really killed the market. That was the last nail on the coffin, and market tanked again. And then toward the second half of the year, September and October was, if not the slowest, but it was one of the slowest in the history of real estate market. Normally, spring and fall are the best markets, spring being the number one, fall being number two. That fall market was nothing stellar. It was just very, very, very quiet. And the market tanked. So what we saw is that we had one dip around February and then another dip, kind of, if you will, around October and November last year. Now, going toward the end of the year, things were very slow down, and as you're going to see in a few seconds, there weren't a lot of activities happening. However, the consensus are now that going to 2024, Bank of Canada has a higher chance of start reducing the rate because it's kind of reaching to the point that it's been effective, slowing down the inflation. The results in US also come in pretty good. So the consensus are more leaning toward lowering the interest rate. And then the moment that interest rates start lowering down, market will pick up, people will gain confidence and coming back in the market, and we go from there. Now, beside that, I want to review a couple of things that in last year was a highlight. We saw record rent increases. Rent prices have gone really, really high. I'm talking about 20, 30, in some cases even 35% increase in the rent. Rates have gone up, which actually means that the demand is there. It's just because of interest rate people cannot buy, but they have to rent. People need to live somewhere. Real estate, it's not like stock market. You can put your money in the bank and keep it safe. You need a roof over your head. And that's where things come in place. If we had low sales, but then high inventory and very high vacancy rate, that's where the danger is for the market crashes. These are corrections. These are not crashes. And having said that, that's what we are looking at. One of the stats that I'd like to share with you is that I was in a builder's presentation, and the numbers are staggering. There are close to 1,900,000 some odd thousands of international students every year come to Canada. International students need a place to live, and 60% plus of them coming to Ontario, and then BC and others. That also had to push into rent because in 2020 and 2021, most international students were doing distance study. This was the first year they come back. So they also had that demand increasing, So the rent went up a lot. One other stat that I want to say is that Government of Canada is also fast forwarding a lot of immigrants' application because they need people to come in and help us with the work we have ahead. And that number is also staggering. Some number like 400,000 per year. And again, majority of those people, more than half of them, will eventually end up in Ontario, if not immediately, but they end up in Ontario. That's where the jobs are. Again, long-term view of a real estate market still pretty good. It's just this pause that we have because of the interest rates currently. And quite frankly, these interest rates are not as high. For those of us who remember late 80s, early 90s, we had 18%, 20%. When it dropped down to 13%, people were just saying, oh my God, that's great. Everything in life is relative. What we have right now relative to 2020 and 2021, which money was really dirt cheap, was free, it's a lot. But if you compare it to those days of 18% and 17%, you're still pretty good. So having said all of this, I'm going to not just talk about December this time. I'm going to review our results from 2021 to 2022 and 2023. So I'm taking you back a couple of years when the interest rate was very, very low, almost zero, and see what things happen and where we're going from now. So the question is, what does 2024 look like and what we should expect in that? We'll come into that. So here's the number for 2021. Hey, these are the high days that the 2021. We only had 207 homes for sale total, 207. And the sales for the year, for the whole year, was 11,311. That was one of the, if not the highest record, it was very well up there. Okay, that was the 2021. And then 2022 started very strong, but the February, when Russia and the Ukraine war broke and the Bank of Canada started increasing the interest rate and things start tanking, things went south, obviously. So inventory went up a lot, as you can see, close to about 225%. And then sales went down. I always talk about this. The price as a function of supply and demand. This is economy 101. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. All of you know this. When you see how it tips, that's where you can see where the prices are going. So demand down, inventory up. For every buyer, there were more than one home, there were many homes, so therefore prices start going down. 39% less sales from 2021 to 22, and a 225% higher inventory. Things went on. I just talked about the 2023, how it started, and this is how it ends now. 2023 ends up with 1,062 homes for sale total, and the whole number of homes, total number of homes sold in the whole year, 5,905. That's 14% less than the last year. So again, less demand, lesser demand, and more inventory. Now, what I want to go over is that from this, if you go back in 2 years, numbers are more staggering. We have 413% more homes for sale. 400% more homes for sale. And we have in 2 years a 48% drop. 48% drop in number of sales. That's almost half. So inventory went up by 400%, sales dropped by 50%. And that's where we are with the numbers and all that stuff. All these numbers are the past. But what about the future? How do we do the future? How do we look forward in 2024? 2024 is not going to be a huge move up or down, unless Bank of Canada aggressively lowers the interest rate, which is not very likely. Nothing is impossible, but it's not very likely. The consensus are there will be a gradual drop in the interest rates, starting sometimes in mid-2024, and that will bring the buyers and their confidence back in the market, and things will start shifting slightly up. So two scenarios: if the Bank of Canada start lowering the interest rate in second half of the year, okay, we are going to see a slight up if interest rates will go down. So not a huge leg up. It reminds me of 2018. We saw this before. 2017 we had such a down market, we had such an up market and went down market, and then 2018 was the reconciliation year. It was a year that people start getting used to the new rules and the new interest rates and all that stuff. And then 2018 they kind of recoup, and then 2019 and 20 then start going up again. However, what if Bank of Canada start increasing the rate again? It's not impossible, but it's less likely, a lot less likely. Nothing in this world is impossible. It's less likely. And if the interest rate goes 1.25% up, we're gonna see the same thing going down. I don't think we're gonna see any drastic changes in this year, either up or down. What I'm showing you here will be a few percentage, not a whole lot. So expect a kind of a steady type of market with a little bit ups or downs toward 2024. That's my understanding, is based on my talk with a lot of brokers and a lot of buyers and all that people. So having said that, I wish everybody a really happy new year in 2024, and understand that this will be a year that there won't be any sudden changes. We're gonna be back into a normal market. The needle is now a little bit tipped toward the buyer side, if not all the way. Some people think it's a lot more buyer side, some people don't. But you'll be somewhere in the balance, slightly toward the buyer side. So if you're a first-time buyer, take advantage of this time. It could be a very good opportunity for you to pick something you can afford, and you don't break the bank. Interest rates will change, most likely will go down, but the savings that you get because of this increases, it's permanent. If we could pick something up hundreds of thousands of dollars less than 2 years ago, the interest rates you're paying will change and will come back and will be a really good deal for you. If you're a downsizer, you're an empty nester, you want to go to something smaller, I've been saying that all along, pick something up pre-construction. Pre-constructions for 2 years, 3 years down the road. So you with 20%, 15%, 10%, whatever that builder is requiring, you can you can secure something for 2 years from now for that set price, and wait until your market goes up a little bit, interest rates will adjust, and then you gain from your home as well as going there. And when the time comes, you have a lot of options. You can either sell and move to there, you can assign that, or you can rent it and collect some rent for your retirements and all that stuff. So you get a lot of options. So the best thing is to buy something pre-construction. And I have people telling me, Brian, it's not a good time to buy pre-construction. Be very selective. Not every project is good. Even when the times were very good, not every project is good. You have to do your due diligence. It pays off to have a good agent. It pays off to pick someone who's knowledgeable and can really research and find out about the builder, about the area, about the project, and the quality of the things that go in. Those things matter. So don't just paint everything with the same brush and say, oh, well, pre-construction is completely out. No, it's not. It really depends on builder, projects, and all that stuff. And if you are moving up, my God, is one of the best time to move up, because the gap between bigger home and smaller home narrowed a lot. Top of the market has been pressed down, and it's just that jump. It's really, really helpful. If you have a high maintenance fee in your condos and you wanted more space, you want to jump to a semi or a detached, this may be a best time to take advantage of that. So look into it, take advantage of these things. Happy New Year 2024. Expect something steady and a little bit up or a little bit down, and don't be afraid. Real estate is a long-term game. If you look at the graph for past 10 years, we had some jitters, but at the end of the day, it starts from here and goes over here. So, and it's gonna be the same for next 10 years. So, zoom out a little bit, have a little bit longer plan, and you'll be good. I'm Brian Khatambakhsh, your real estate consultant. If you have any question about any of this, you can always reach us or call us 647-848-2652. You can text me, you can call us any way you like. We are here to help. Until next month, have a fantastic day and Happy New Year again.